Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Hope we are all doing good this afternoon. Let's see, we're on page two still. But we've got the first three panels done today. We are hoping to get um, three other panels in. Okay, so let's see here. We want this panel, panel 4. Question is, do we have that angle in our one germane? So let's take a look through the pictures and see whether we have anything that matches what we're looking for in either of these pictures today. And I know we're starting a bit late, but you know what? We're also supposed to be starting with prayer. Lord, thank you for another good day. I know it's a bit rainy out, a little blah out, but thank you for this day. Thank you for this stream. Thank you for everybody that's going to come by today and chat and all that. Lord, just be with us as we chat and hopefully have a good time. And I get some stuff done here on Insecto number 1 and whatever else. So, yes, thank you very much. In your name, amen. God bless. Okay, so this is more for some stuff that we were doing. We don't really want this one, so we'll do not save. You know what? That could be a good one for something that we're doing here. Uh, that is probably not. Again, doors, no to new, new, new. Nope. I'm gonna keep that one. It could be useful. That one could be useful too for the last panel. That's not going to be any help to us. Neither is that. That's not going to be any help to us either at the moment. That could be as well. That is not going to be. Maybe that could be. No. I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say no to that. No to that. That could be useful for sure. Okay, so we're on 9-2. Let's look here. 5. Okay, no, that's not going to be any help. That could be. I don't think that's going to be any help yet. Again, that could be. Don't think that will be. Definitely not. Hey! Hey! No, that might be. So on 6, 2. Okay, definitely not helping. I don't think that's going to help. 5, 2. Yeah, we've got that right. Definitely not going to help with that one. I don't think that one's going to be a help. Well, maybe. No, that's not going to be any help. I don't think. That might be. So we're on 3, 2. And no help there. No help there. And no help there. Okay, so with that, let's see if there's any that are going to be direct help for. And that one could be. So Control A, Control C. Control A, Control C. No. And Control A, Control C. Control A, Control C. That's not. Control C. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, so I guess it's time to bring these down and see how much help they are going to be. That's not going to be any real help right now. That could be. Yeah, not quite yet. Okay, so I think with the length or width or whatever you want to call this building. I'm going to combine these two layers. Merge with the layer below. Then we want to put that down a little. Then we want to add a new layer. Want to get to black. And then we want the line tool here. Now let's see how big have we got though. So it's at 3. I think that's a little small. Let's bring it up to 5, and I think that's even going to be small. Yeah, I want to bring it up just slightly more. Let's bring it up to 8. Okay, now we have a couple of things here. Let's see. I'm not going to have this. Okay, as much as I don't hate to, I'm gonna have to bring this down to 5, I think. Well, let's bring it up to 6, I think. Oh, that isn't even where the thing is. Okay, let's see, where did I put my... You know what? We haven't shared this out at all either. So let's go to YouTube here. Go live. Oh, we got 2 likes so far. Cool. Post over on the X. Copy that. Discord. Okay, so there we go. Go, Scooby Dooby Doo, let me be telling you, Jesus, he be loving you. Thinking next time I do this, as much as I hate it, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of this stuff on other levels. It's like that. brush a little smaller so we can get in here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Oak here, I think, should be the next one by about here. Here. We've got it there. Go. There we go again. Okay, we'll get this, I'll figure so it's a little faster getting it out here. Okay. I'm liking that. It's looking good. And I think I'm going to do what I said and use a different layer because we're about to do the windows. Okay, so there should be a line in the middle of that. Shows that. Okay, so yeah, we'll take it out from there and then take it out from there. Now between the edge and the next spot there is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So we want to be dividing this into about quarters. Should have divided, you know what? We still can. Or I think about the halfway mark is yeah, but there's 4 lines. Didn't they count 4 lines? So it's not quartered. There's 5 sections, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So we're not dividing this into quarters, we're dividing this into fifths. Okay, so again, let's get to here and we'll take out the line in between. There we go. Okay, so I don't think you're gonna see that. So 1, 2. Okay, so let's see again. Taking out the stuff in between. Yes. Okay, so that is good. I think that looks better. Okay, so now this just a little bit under. Because that goes back that way. You know what? I think that's going to come down a little bit further. Here we go. And of course, the next time this will be even better because hopefully the next pass will be a little better. Now, I should have had something from the other side so I could see how far this one beam went up. Unfortunately, I do not. So, hey, it is what it is. Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna take out this because that doesn't need to be there. And let's see what we have. Okay, so we have something here. Let's, okay, so and then there seems to be glass or something up top, coming down. Well, that's right in at the wall, so you wouldn't see that. You'd be lucky to see these doors. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Okay, so that looks a little thin there. What's hard to say? Okay, so we're gonna merge this one with the layer below. Let's see what it's looking like. That's looking pretty good, I think. All the lines aren't quite as nice as we'd like, but I think if I put some sort of ruler or whatever in there, that might help that out, and I might do that next time. I've tried to work with whatchamacallits before, but the lines for dimension, I don't think parallel, but okay, so now we have how far does that go up? That would be probably a good idea to look. Okay, it goes up about halfway to let's start at about the halfway. I like that. So let's come back to the line. Looks like. Hey, Mike. Thanks for dropping in to say hi and like. How are you today? What's going on for you? Ready for tomorrow? I guess so. I guess I'm on tomorrow. You know what? I look that looks a bit straight and then comes down. We'll keep this all the way it is right now for now. No need to mess with stuff. We don't have to. And that looked like a flower box, so let's make that around the edges. Oh, it's good that you're all right. What is it? Archie tomorrow? What is it tomorrow, Mike? Oh, Centaur. Well, yes, I'm on tomorrow. We'll be going through books that went on sale May of 1940 from Centaur Publications. Well, you know what? Next week on my silhouette game, it is going to be characters that debuted in 1948. So I know that's a little bit further off than what we're going to be doing, but you know, they're both in the 40s, right? I don't know how many of these things there are. And these ones are doors. I'm gonna get this good at some point. Okay, my lines are definitely not as straight as I would like them to be. So now we got to doing buildings is hard. They take a long time, especially when you want to make them a certain way. I'm gonna put this down one, and then we're gonna put this down that. Hopefully, this is gonna look like a ramp with some with handlebars, guide bars, whatever. I think you know what I mean. Okay, so let's come over here to the eraser. Take out just that little bit. And let's see. And I think not the best, but we'll make that look a little better next time around for sure. Let me turn my side so that's on to me. Well, in the room once I do it, so. There. Okay, so just out in front of this. Not much, but let's just create a little tiny bit like that. And then this goes up way up. Okay, so this can go there. This can go down to about there. That goes to there, and that. The angles are really off on this, so I apologize for that. but we'll correct that all hopefully next time around. We're just trying to get this looking a little better than, or maybe a lot better than before. So I'm obviously going to have to get some pictures of this thing here so I can draw it better. So again, I think we got a lot of... Okay, so it's not perfect, but it's looking a little better, and we just need to actually, we need to do two things actually. This is again something that I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on, but making sure it's looking right. And that, of course, is the ladder stuff. So we're also gonna probably have a fireman in here. We'll have a hose that's attached to this. And that's spraying water. There we go. We'll have some fire here. I don't know how fire will be on this building. That's something I should probably research. Survive fire and cement buildings, or cement buildings on fire. Concrete buildings and glass buildings on fire. See what that looks like. Okay, so it took an hour, but that panel is done. But let's take a look at it quickly. Hey, Flit! Rick is one step away from Googling whether jet fuel can melt steel beams. No, not quite. Well, it's just like I just sometimes, in the middle of a project, you start thinking, you get how a wood building can be on fire and how it would be that way. But what does a concrete building look like on fire? You know what? Let's see. And it's not that I don't think they can be, it's just you don't imagine concrete on fire necessarily. Concrete building on fire. So it looks like it's not really showing them on fire. It's showing up units. So let's see. We'll bring this image over. Copy. Here's another one. And if you're saying something, I can't see it in a moment because copy image. There's another one. Doesn't know. I did concrete and glass buildings on fire. Okay, so it looks like you're just gonna see. Okay. Yeah, just search skyscraper fire. Sky. Okay. Yeah. I think that got me a little bit better results. Thanks, Flit. Ooh, this is nice. Well, you know what I mean. You're not seeing what I'm saying, but I'm about to show you. It's nice, but it's not nice. It's nice in the fact that I think this could really help me. So you're not really gonna see the outside on fire too much. It looks like you're just gonna see a lot of fire coming out through windows on these concrete slash brick buildings. Right. No, it's just nice to know how to draw this. Or I think a lot of it's going to come in during the coloring, really. But how are you, Flit? Bye bye, Pyre. Good, good. How are you? I am doing good. I'm getting things accomplished, shall we say? Okay, let's merge layer below. And let's mute that. Okay, so let's look at our building here. So it looks like there's 3 of these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, if we will, or if you will, whatever. So what have you been up to, Flit? How is life as a hermit? Or out in the middle of nowhere? Whichever you prefer. Okay, good. So maybe that answers that. Yeah, I did a little bit in Blender myself. Worked on a few 3D models. I'd show you, but I don't have the files at the moment. Hopefully soon I will have the files. You know what? I'm gonna get this up to 10. Catch me up of the story of Insecto. Okay, so Insecto lived in Hamilton, Ontario. And just shortly after graduating high school, he got married to his high school sweetheart. And then shortly after that, he got accepted into a cooking school, a prestigious cooking school in New Brunswick, Canada. in St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. So Jack and his new wife head off to thing, and there's a family farm that nobody's using on his mother's side. So he says whether, hey, can I use this farm to live in while I'm in the area? Yeah, it's a bit out of the way for, St. John's. It's a couple hours drive or something like that or more. But he figures, hey, what he would save in, rent and all that. He can live there. But we're on the way into St. John, New Brunswick. And he sees this building on fire. And he decides to, I'll say go investigate, but investigate probably the wrong word. He's your typical person. Oh, let's go look at the burning car, or let's look at the accident as we drive by. Let's put it this way: it's a little bit out of the way, But he gets there. Him and his wife get out of the car. They see this woman up in the building, and there's like no way that they know that there's no way the fire people can get to her. So they just start praying for her safety or whatever, or her rescue, however you want to put it. And then in the middle of that, he gets transformed into Insecto in the middle of the prayer. God says, okay. And he's wanted to be a superhero his whole life. He's like, because he's read comics most of his life. So he's like, okay, you wanted to be a superhero? You want to pray that somebody acts or whatever, some act is done to rescue this woman? Well, we'll have you be the instrument of her salvation, so to speak. Are you up to the task? So he rescues her, and being interviewed, he sees the emblem on his chest, which he sees an eye in it. So it's like he's about to say Insect Man, and he just like that's too corny. But in the middle, he goes Insecto, not meaning to say, the O sort of out loud. He's saying this out loud, but at the same time, his mind stops him in the middle of saying it because it's just too stupid of a name, Insect Man, and he ends up with Insecto. And thus his journeys begin. Or his adventures, however you want to say it. So does that is how's do you feel you are caught up enough? Okay. He's the fourth character that I will be coming out with a book for. The net, which is why I'm drawing it up right now. I figure I have the time because we got Canadian Shield 3 to get through, Snowdrift 2, Flame 1, Canadian Shield 4, Snowdrift 3, and Flame 2. And then we'll have Insecto 1. I keep thinking Insecto, getting Insecto confused with Dragonfly. Yes, Dragonfly does not appear till I believe the second issue of Electide. I do have that story written. Yeah, Dragonfly is a little bit younger than Insecto. He's a teenager with parents. Goes to like high school. I'm not sure whether he's able to transform with Insecto. Well, definitely not like him by just saying a name. He ends up. Oh man. And when he first transforms, he ends up ruining his, sort of ruining his parents' living room unintentionally, of course. And he's a bit of a metalhead, or a rocker, anyways. Okay. But I think it's amazing that you actually A remember Dragonfly and enough of his I think enough of his history. Do you know any of the history of Dragonfly? Besides what I just said, of course. Or did you remember that beforehand? Yeah, let's see. Okay, so now I think I don't think I remember Dragonfly stories. Insecto's backstory did sound familiar. No, I just always pictured Dragonfly whenever I make whenever Insecto was mentioned. Ah, okay, so you more remember Dragonfly's look, shall we say? Yeah, I can see that. They're similar characters, and I think they were always meant to be similar characters. I have thought at some point of having Dragonfly as sidekick to Insecto. Transformation is a popular concept in manga. I'm surprised more comics don't utilize heroes' simple transformation. Yeah, well, it's being able to, I guess, do it somehow. I'm not sure how to put that. Like, which comic cares? Like, which comic characters? Uh, well, all the Hulks, or pretty much all the Hulks. Um, the original Captain Marvel, the real Captain Marvel, and his family. I'm not sure that you can. Well, Blue Beetle is not really a transformation, is it? Would you consider Blue Beetle transformation like the newer Blue Beetle? Um, there's Loose Cannon. Again, not widely known, but probably Loose Cannon is a DC ripoff of the Hulk, really. I'm sure there's other ones. I just can't think of them at the moment. Oh, Dial H for Hero. Let's see, there are so few chances. Yeah. And of course, you're just talking, well, yeah, American comics, or Western comics. Because I was going to say, yeah, Sailor Moon, but she's anime slash manga. Oh, what these open here too? I don't want them in here. See, yeah, I read that. But do you consider Blue Beetle something like Blue Beetle? Um, Transformation? Because I guess depending on the version of Iron Man could fit into that. Like Jamie Reyes, Blue Beetle. I only know the Scarab Tech Blue Beetle, and I'd probably consider that more like Iron Man. Yeah, well, that's what I was going for. And that's the one that I'm talking about. The Scarab Tech. Uh, and that and that's why I was talking about because it comes on depending on the Iron Man, but we'll say extremist Iron Man, where he just sort of thinks it and the armor comes over him. Same with, Scarab Tech. But then again, that could be like a Green Lantern too, because the ring just puts the thing on the uniform. They haven't really transformed. Yeah, extremist armor. I'm not. It was sort of a thing. Um, Similar to. I'm not sure whether you watched Iron Man 3. That was where they were got the idea from the story arc, or gave Iron Man armor where it was sort of a bio armor. Not sure how to word that correctly, but hopefully you get what I mean. Okay, so I knew that was going to happen. Oh, gotta be careful there. Ah, crap. Nope, too much. I gotta remember I don't want to take all of this off. Although I'm gonna have me taking some of it off and some more of it off in a second or two. Well, probably more than a second. There we go. And let's, yes. Yeah, I always hated drawing backgrounds. Yeah. Okay. Which unfortunately I wasn't smart enough to put everything here on various layers. Oh, see, I gotta erase the line in there too. Let's see, let's make this smaller. Well, it's these meticulous backgrounds like this, but at least this is really form fitting. I'm not sure what the right word is. And if you can, if you haven't already, hit that like and share it out. I'm not sure what social medias you're on or willing to share it on social medias. I've seen you a little bit lately on X. Okay, so it's right there. So we want to come in here and place that, place that, place that, place that, place that. Now, there's definitely a lot more I need to do for this building, but I think that looks pretty good. You think that looks similar enough to the building above there in the picture? Hey, I'm sure because probably my lines aren't as straight as they need to be, but this can be corrected in another path. But it certainly looks. Give me a sec. I just want to get these. It's not that obviously. It's not the exact same angle as that. And my lines, like I said, Well, it's exactly it. That's the angle. That it looks like it's leaning backwards because of the angle that you're at. Backwards and up and backwards. But here's what it looked like before. Yeah, but I'm not trying to do an exact duplicate of that thing. Because obviously I'm not getting all the way towards the sky, the tippy top of the building. You know what? I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna grab one of these fire. Uh, yeah, I know the general perspective is fine. I'm gonna get it. Like I said, there's gonna be another pass on that, and it's probably the next pass will get that perfect. But let's see. I like this. Although I don't want it quite this emblazed. Okay, so let's see. I want to figure out which ones I want to use here. That's nice, but just not enough. That could be nice. That's the one I'm using for sure. This I think I'll use this one. That's not really going to help here. I don't think that is. And I don't think that is either. Or that. And that's one thing I'm not sure of too right now is what time of day I want to set this in. Whether I want to set it nighttime or daytime or somewhere in between. But I'll figure that out more when I come to the coloring. Okay, so let's bring our fire stuff down so we can actually see it. You know what? So I can use this one a little easier. We're going to Oh, crap. So, do, 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 do. And it might go a little longer today. I really would like to get this page done, but then again, I think next time this page is done. Let's make that just slightly bigger. Oh, somebody I was about to grab my Sharpie and try and draw. Oh, figures blue. Although, you know what? That might be a good idea. Yeah, Insecto's wings are part of the transformation, trans, transform form, right? Not a part of his costume. Yeah, well, technically, the whole thing is part of his transformation. It's a costume, but not a costume. None of it's something that he made. It's Oh, he's transformed into that image, however you want to call it, by God. So, from what I know, he can't take any part of it off. I haven't thought of that. Although, sort of inspired by the Fly by DC's rendition of Archie's hero, the Fly. He could take his. He could end up taking his helmet, mask, whatever off, but I don't think that's something I'm going to have done or do, however you want to say it. I know it's hard to see this, the gray over the black, but I'm trying to create a little bit of a smoke. And then I might just, oh, you know what? Let's, how does his wife react to his new form? Will there be domestic conflict? Well, she knows he's always wanted to be a hero, superhero. She knows it's a little bit of an obsession that he's, a real big comic book fan. At first, she's definitely probably a little bit all right with it. She's, worried when some more major battles happen. And there might be a little conflict when he's like, hey, God did this for me. I'm not going to back down from it because I get a little bit hurt. Although technically it's probably a lot hurt. Well, in his insecto form, because it doesn't really transfer, the hurt doesn't really transfer over to from one form to the other. Although he does remember the pain. He doesn't feel the pain as Jack. And there's a little bit even in this first issue, not quite, depends on how severe you want to call it. Like not so much the new form, but a little bit of its antics, like after he rescues the woman. I think it's here. He's flying to catch up with her because she's going to where they're going to be staying. And he ends up coming up behind her without noticing, picks up the car, and ends up starting to fly it, and she's not really impressed. Especially since she didn't know that he was about to do that. She's not really, I don't want to fly, air insecto. And then they do have a little bit of a conversation of how the heck, okay, you got this nice form, but is there any way for you to get back to that other form? Because he can't, and, you know, there's a little bit of that going on in the next panel or so. And then him getting their boxes in, and then from their travels. So I hope that answers your question, Flit. I gotta also decide where the fire is going to be in all of this. Oh yeah, I was just about to put some water in here, or try to. Guess we'll have another one coming from over here too. Over here onto this one here. So if Insecto's costume is basically a new body, does that mean he's basically running around? Possibly, but it ain't showing nothing, so. Well, it's hard to say because, let's see, no matter which version you look at of Insecto, characters, those, if you look at the new form, we see he does have, it looks like he has regular skin underneath this Insecto skin, Insecto armor skin for that one. And let's see, even with look at an old version. Even with the old version, although the hands don't show it, he does have this portion of skin, human skin showing on his face. So again, that could easily be no, the new form is technically covered in armor. Although he can't really take the armor off, or maybe he just doesn't know how. Maybe he could take the armor off. I don't know. It's not really something I've thought about, and maybe I'll cover that in the future at some time. But again, hopefully that answers your question. Or maybe it raises more questions than answers. So let me save these. Save as. I appreciate that the design almost looks like he's wearing van brace and greaves that look like the insect chicken chitin for the new one or the old one or both. And if it's a new one, that was probably more, I guess, intentional. Although I'm not sure what insect chitin is exactly because I think I might know, but anyways, ugh. Because when I did the redesign, I actually looked at some insects instead of just drawing up something half-heartedly. You know, like when I originally created Insecto, I was in my teens. I wasn't thinking, and I can admit that. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. That is the first image I show you is the redesign. This is the original, basic original design, and this coming up. This is the redesign. And the redesign all came from doing this comic because it's like there were some scenes where I have to draw them at the back, and I've never really drew Insecto from the back, so it's okay. How do the wings attach? So then I went and looked at some insects, and this is what came of that. And I'm just saving all these blaze images. yeah, the old. Oh, thank you. Let. Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, the other one I created in my teens, you know, and I wasn't thinking of anatomy or whatever, and I guess I was in the when I went to draw it, I started thinking of some anatomy idea, questions. Sometimes questions people ask me, I get to eventually, or maybe I've asked myself and I don't want to give an answer. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, maybe I haven't. But some of these questions I will get to eventually. It's just a question of when, if it comes up in my head, if I see it as relevant, I guess is the best way to say it. And I felt having to draw him from the back and know what he looked like was a relevant thing. And then, of course, that sparked me doing my the starting of my turnarounds, which I let me make sure that we've this fire stuff done first. I was gonna show something. Come on, save. I hate it when it takes forever to save. I'm just doing this because I don't want to have to you open something, then it wants to save in the place that you opened something from. Wow. Okay, this is the last one to save at the moment. Save as PNG. Yes. Uh, characters. But I finished off. I did the coloring of Canadian Shield for the turnaround. Now my side view is not the best. And I might use this as a template for doing him as Manly Cougar in his original look, like back from the 1800s. And maybe something more modern that he might be wearing. And I might do one with just the back without the cape too, I'm thinking. So you can see what the back of his thing is, although it's just white and you got the belt going around, so not all that appealing. Or not all that interesting, but you know. And of course, oh, it's not over here. We did start working on the turnaround for, oh no, thought we did. Maybe I closed it. That's Insecto. But we did start our turnaround for Snowdrift. Save the capeless design for Canadian Shield 2099 series. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm just more. Again, the turnarounds, are nice. But I'm just thinking without the cape, just so if I can give this to somebody, and they know what he looks like without the cape, or what the back of him looks like without the cape. Do not save. Do not save. Do not save. I just want to save because I copied it. No. Do not save. So hopefully next week we will be off page 2. Do not save just in case. So next week, hopefully, we will be starting page 3, which is going to have Jack McAdders and Betty, and you're going to be seeing sort of the transformation. There. Well, you see it here, but hopefully it's going to be looking better. And then what do we got after page 3? The biggest thing here is going to be, again, the car. And maybe some scenery. And we're going to have to copy a little bit from page 2. And hopefully things are going to get easier from here. For a while, anyways. No more building. Although technically we could have the building in the background here. I don't know. Especially here, we'll have panel 4. But anyways, that's a couple weeks away. But what do you think so far of panel or page 2? Flit. Oh, and have you seen page 1? Here's page 1 where they're coming into the city. It needs to be drawn a lot better too. But yeah, let's see. I have a comic book or two around here. I have a graphic novel, Earth 1 Teen Titans, Volume 1. It's just okay. You're gonna be able to see this, but it's gonna be able to look a little different probably for a second or two. Yeah, and one thing you can't see in panel 4, you can't really see the fire engine ladder there. Once I when I do the next pass on that, it's gonna look probably a lot better. I got it right now in front of me at about the size of a comic book. It's maybe slightly bigger, not much, but the right height, but just slightly wide. Yeah, and it all looks pretty good. And this is what the third pass, and then once it all gets colored, next week, of course, we're going to be doing panel 5 there, that tall one. That should really be good next week. That's going to look a lot more excellent. That's going to probably take the hour to do as well, getting those fine details in. But the building's looking like the building now, which I like a lot. But anyways, anybody got any prayer requests? Patient? Okay, for sure. Just remember when you pray for patience, um, trials and tribulations will come your way because that's the only way to get patience. because the only way to get patience is to exercise it. And then the only way to exercise it is to be put in a situation where you need to use it. So with that said, you still want some prayer for patience? That is a dangerous prayer. Flint's still thinking, um, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Or it can be a dangerous prayer, anyways. Dude, anyways, okay. Oh, Lord, thank you for a good stream. Thank you for allowing me to get those two panels done and looking really, really good, especially the bottom one, Lord. And I pray for Flit that you would help him gain some patience, and in doing so, don't make it too trying on him. The the trials or the tribulations that may come this way, ease him into learning that patience more, Lord. You know, don't throw him a wham dum doozy of a thing to learn patience on right at first, Lord. Ease him into it, Lord, so he can gain it more and more easily. So it'll be good. It'll be great, easier to do for the bigger stuff. And thanks for everybody else that was able to stop by, Lord, and say whatever, And also, I pray for Goodnight Spoon as he goes through this time of mourning. His grandfather died a couple weeks ago, so and I'm not sure how close he was, but he seemed very close. I know he was in the hospital for a couple months, and it was a little upsetting for him during that time, Lord. So just be with him and whatever family he has during this time. In your name, amen. Okay. Well, again, thanks everybody for stopping by. It's been great having you. We will see you hopefully Monday for lesser known Bible stories. That should be happening about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, you too, Flit. And tomorrow I will be on the mic stand as we're going over some comics from Centaur Comics from May 1940. So if you want to hear hopefully some good reads of characters that were from 1940, check out that. And also remember, this coming Thursday, 1948 comic characters that debated in 1948 for the Silhouette game. So bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day. Love you all. God bless.